Have you ever stepped back and been somewhere or bought something or were in an environment that you decided to be in, and then you looked around and you realized it wasn't bringing you peace or joy or happiness or any of the things that you actually thought it would do? Well, in this video, I'm breaking down why your high maintenance lifestyle is not going to be the thing that's going to bring you joy and happiness. And before we even go further, I'm not saying that you can't have nice things, because God knows I like nice things too. But what we are going to talk about is how you can have a life that is full of purpose, excitement, joy, and happiness that doesn't require you to break the bank, and it doesn't have you using material things to fulfill the void that something else is missing. So sis, if you have ever felt that way, then this video is definitely going to be for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So what exactly do I mean by high maintenance lifestyle? So a lot of people, when they hear that, they immediately think about expensive things. And it can be expensive things, but that's not just necessarily what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the energy and effort and the finances it takes to maintain the required lifestyle you have set out for yourself. That's what we're talking about when we talk about high maintenance life. It's the demanding job that eats up 60+ hours of your week in order to finance the things. It's the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that you're spending on maintenance for your home, for your beauty. It's the luxury car that's always in the shop or requires $80 to $300 oil changes and $600 tires. It's the things that you have created around you and in your environment that when you step back, they don't even really necessarily bring you joy and happiness. You've just acquired them because you thought that they would, and they are costing you thousands of dollars in time and or energy. And perhaps the most draining piece of all of this in a high maintenance life is the people who are ungrateful and unappreciative of what you bring to the table, and you are doing your best to hold on to those relationships as fragmented as they are, and they are just simply draining you, and you are desperately trying to keep up with the appearances for everyone else except yourself. And look, the problem isn't necessarily having nice things or having ambitious goals. The problem becomes when those things are the primary focus and driver and not your peace, joy, and happiness. You're so fixated on keeping up the mortgage in this house, or you're so fixated in making people think that you have this perfect relationship or this marriage, or that your children are these amazing human beings with 4.0 GPAs, and that your house is meticulously, and that is draining you to the point where you don't even really know what joy, peace, and happiness is. So I want us to be grounded when we say high maintenance, that we don't always mean spending money. We can, but we really mean spending time, energy, and or money. And one of the biggest, if not number one culprits of this is social media. Look, I did not grow up as a child where there was social media. So if someone got a new car, it was kind of like saw the car in the driveway, or someone got dropped off in the new car and then you went in the house and you told your parents, hey, did you see XYZ got a new car? Or someone showed up at school with the brand new shoes or the latest fashion that you knew was at the mall. That is how word got around. It wasn't instantaneous, and quite honestly, nobody, and if they were showboating, I don't know. And granted, I didn't grow up upper class, so maybe I just wasn't part of that world, but I don't remember every mom and dad taking vacations. I definitely don't remember like grandiose birthday parties. Here's a cake, here's some ice cream, here's some punch, y'all go be good, and we're gonna play a couple of games. Now we're talking about 4-star dinners for like 8-year-old kids and themes and all of those things that just didn't happen. How everyone has a G-Wagon, and it's like, dang, we both teach class next to each other. How you rolling a G-Wagon and I'm in my Toyota Camry? It is just out of control, and then you get to see it first and center because it's constantly not only in real life, but it's constantly in social media. And what that does is those external achievements, though, kudos to those people, because if that's what they've worked hard for and that's what they want, then hey, don't be a hater, cheer them up. But what happens is then you start thinking about, how are these people able to achieve these things, obtain these things, and then I don't have these things? And then what do? You figure out ways to overcome obstacles so that you can be on par with them, and you're on par with someone for something that you really didn't even want. So how do we break free from this cycle? And you're gonna ask yourself these 3 questions. So I want you to get ready. Does this truly bring me joy, or is this a temporary distraction whenever I encounter it? Does this truly bring me joy, or is this a temporary distraction when I encounter it? Is the maintenance cost, the time, the money, the energy worth it when I receive it? After I have spent time doing X, or I have spent money doing A, B, or C, I feel like it's worth it. When I get my hair done and I walk out of there, I feel like that was worth it. When I get my nails done, it's okay. I feel like it was worth it, even though I don't enjoy necessarily giving up my time to do it. Spending $4,000 on a purse at this season of my life, I don't think it's worth it. Probably about 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I probably would have said, yes, it is worth it. So it doesn't matter what I think is worth it or what you think is worth it. It's really what the individual values, because you define what happiness looks like for you. I cannot tell you what that looks like. Really think about what your core values, and the best way to think about your core values is what really matters to you the most when no one else is watching, when you don't have an audience, when no one is putting any pressure on you. What matters to you the most? Because when you know your core values, things just become a lot clearer and you don't feel as pressured. Because quite honestly, if all of us really operated from a place of core values, we wouldn't be trying to keep up with anybody, because we would be constantly pursuing what made us happiness and brought us joy, and we would be very clear about what that looks like. This is where you really honestly have to step back and you have to say, look, I'm going to say no to the things that don't necessarily align with my core values and don't represent a good use of my time, my money, or my energy. And that can be very difficult. So what I would really suggest is you don't just start telling people no to everything. You really come up with the one or two things that align, that you've been slacking on, that are not bringing you happiness, and you start there with the no's. That's where you start with no. So what about if you are already locked in something and you can't make these super drastic changes? Well, let me give you some tips on what this could look like in a different part of your life, depending on the circumstances. So say, for example, you're working way more hours than you need to, and it is killing you. You're not being able to get to your kids' events, or you're not present, or you're tired, or it's overwhelming. Could you negotiate a more flexible schedule? Is that a possibility? Could you delegate more at your work? Do you have to have your hands in every single thing at work and that's why you're drained? Can you find the parts of your job and your career that align with your strengths and focus more on that and channel your energy there? And then ultimately, are you in the right place? That part, hey, I ain't telling you to quit your job, but I will tell you that a job that makes you miserable makes your life miserable. And for your possessions, now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. This one is hard for me. I'm not a minimalist, but I do not like clutter and I do not like a lot of stuff. But when I am wanting something, when I am fixated on something, I will convince myself that I work hard and that I should have something. And so I have to work on that. I will see something and I will be like, ooh, I want that. I don't need it. I do not need it, y'all. I literally ordered a camera last night when I was in bed. I have this camera. Did I even sew this one? I have this camera. I don't need another camera. But I was like, oh, if I get this camera, I can get this angle and I can do this and I can do that. No, it wasn't, I didn't order a $3,000 camera, but I was like, girl, why are you spending like $450 on this little camera? You don't need it. So learning to say no to the things you don't need and really learning to appreciate the possessions that you currently have, because pretty much whatever I have already, I can get it to do what that camera is going to do. Now that camera is probably gonna make it easier, but do I really need it? And then this one's big. For your appearance, what parts of your routine truly make you feel the most confident, the most yourself, the most where you have your time and mental energy? So I have two areas of my life where I always feel better when it happens. Number one, get my hair done. Whenever I get my hair done, that's like a superpower unlocked. And I'm sure that many women are like that. It's just something about getting your hair done. And so I try to get my hair done every 3 weeks. Now, I recently was kind of in a slump because I hurt my hamstring, but I'm out of it now. And during that slump, I was like, bun, hair in a bun. I wasn't even curling my hair because I just was not motivated. And when your appearance is off, then that just causes a chain reaction. Now, what I will say is the other area is I like my workout wear to match. I like my workout wear. I do. I don't like bougie workout wear, but I don't like cheap workout wear. And so I like my workout wear to be a certain look. I like a certain kind of sports bra, a certain kind of leggings. And I'm willing to pay that money because when I feel like I look good when I'm working out, I just want to work out and I'm more confident when I'm working out, if that makes sense. For your relationships, which one of your connections drains you? Which ones fill your cup? Figure out the balance. I've talked on this channel before I'm in a sorority, and there are parts of it that I participate in. There's other parts that I don't. It's, you know, I'm active and I do the things I need to do. But there are parts that drain me. But then there are parts that absolutely pour into me and flourish me. So I pick and choose the parts that I want to participate in. And you really have to know what your relationships look like and what that looks like. And then lastly, and a lot of people do not think about this, your digital life. How many apps do you freaking have on your phone? How much time are you spending on social media? Have you ever just taken the time to do an audit of where all your energy is going? Because quite honestly, deleting multiple apps will probably help you get rid of this high maintenance lifestyle to begin with. Because I don't know about you, but I can't tell you how many times I've been on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and something pops up and I'm like, oh, I need that. If I wasn't even on there scrolling, I wouldn't even know about it. It was nowhere in the existence of my mind to order this trash can I could wave my hand over that is over here in this corner. I love the trash can, but I don't need this. So ultimately, y'all, the path of a fulfilling life isn't about adding more. It's actually about removing the things and creating space for the things that are going to bring you joy and peace. So I am encouraging you, especially as we start to roll into the holiday season pretty soon, where money starts being spent and people start going on little ski trips and vacations, and you're trying to have the best Thanksgiving Pinterest spread ever, and people are changing throw pillows and doing all kinds of decor. Y'all, does that even bring you joy? Seriously, does changing your throw pillows bring you joy? If it does, then girl, go out and get you some throw pillows. But if it's not, then stop doing it. You don't have to do the things that you see everybody else doing in order to feel fulfilled. Find out what fulfills you and make that the priority. So as always, if this video resonated, please make sure to give a like, comment down below on what high maintenance habit you are going to get rid of in order to focus more on the things that you enjoy. And I will see you in the next video.